Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well today. Today we are talking about leveling up and all the pros and cons, all the adversities that you might encounter while leveling up in life, wanting more for yourself in life, and what that constitutes basically. So, starting up. Um, Basically, this concept of leveling up was new to me during COVID. I never knew what level up was. I never, I was not aware of that. Basically, I was still around 26 years old when I heard the term level up. And I've never leveled up in my whole life. I didn't know what it was. Um, and yeah, that's basically it. So COVID hit and I was faced with a major economic breakdown for myself and my mom. Basically at that point, I always been independent since I was around 18 years old, but for a specific reason, me and my mom moving together, and then COVID hit and we were stripped down economically, basically. So basically during COVID, I started seeing a lot of movements, videos about leveling up, and I was very intrigued by it. I wanted to know more about it. Basically, leveling up for a woman specifically, it's becoming the best version of yourself, economically, physically, everything, and mentally as well. So I was fascinated by the idea of leveling up and becoming the best version of myself, basically. During a horrible time in my life where literally we were almost homeless, um, it was kind of like an ideal thing to study this and to become the best version of myself. As you can imagine, with all the adversity of COVID, it was hard to acquire this kind of mindset where, you're trying to survive life and then you're trying to become the best version of you. And the correlation doesn't correlate because when you're trying to survive, you cannot thrive. There's it's two different terms. You're either surviving or thriving, but both at the same time is not possible. Obviously, when you thrive, you have survived, but thriving, it becomes is success. Basically, thriving is becoming successful, having momentum, and going up in the ladder, which is the concept of leveling up, right? When you are surviving, it's different because when you're surviving, there's many things pulling you down. Many things pulling you down. And this could be many things. It could be your mentality, your beliefs, your current economic situation, lack of self-love. It could be so many things at once. That's why you're not able to level up, because so many things are pulling you down every day. So let's say you make a good move and all of these things come back and pull you back down into the level that you're in right now. So it's impossible for you to move up the ladder because First, you have to get into the root of the problem that is keeping you stuck and that is keeping you in the same situation. So, I wanted to talk to you about this and how I got myself out of this rut of climbing and getting pulled, climbing and getting pulled to level 1, level 0 actually. Climbing to level 1, going back to level 0. Climbing to level 1, going back to level 0. It was kind of impossible for me, to be honest with you. And I'm still in this process. You're never gonna be, satisfied, because it's not all about the money. It's about the mindset that you acquire at each level that you go. So basically, each level changes your mindset. Each level increases your self-esteem. Each level increases your economics. And also each level takes people away from you that are actually the cause of you being pulled down. So, and it increases your mental strength, your mental toughness, because you acknowledging that certain people are pulling you down and letting them go is the hardest thing that you're gonna do. Distancing yourself from people that you know that are pulling you down is gonna be the hardest thing that you're gonna do, and the hardest thing that I've done myself. So that is one thing. But yeah, let's start with how did I got myself out of a really, really bad situation. And I'm not saying by any means that I'm where I want to end up right now. At all. No, I'm not in my destination. And I don't think it's a destination, to be honest with you. It's simply becoming a better version of you on each level. The ultimate you, basically. I don't think you're never gonna stop, because it's indefinitely. Like, if you can become better every day, there's no limit, you know? And it's not all about money, like I said. It's about you increasing your self-worth, your self-concept, your economics as well. But it's more about the grandiose person that you become, not about the economics only, okay? But that is a big factor as well, because in this life you cannot do anything if it's not economic. If you don't have money, you cannot do almost nothing in life. So yeah, it's about freedom as well. It's freedom. Money is freedom, and it's a tool, but it's not everything. So during COVID, me and my mom had to live together for a period of time. Since I was 18, I always been independent, living by myself. But for a certain situation, we lived together. And then she was actually, we were living in Miami. We end up in Tampa for a situation that is a really long story. But yeah. And then I said to her, you know what? Let's stay here in Tampa. Let's put everything in a storage. Let's go back to Miami until we gather some money that I borrow from a bank. And then we come back and we're gonna, go back to Tampa, right? Just to have some momentum and some money saved, basically. So I asked for a loan, basically in a bank, and they gave it to me during COVID. It was so helpful, and we were really tight on money. We were really tight. So basically, we lived in Tampa together in an apartment, and it was a really stressful situation because me and my mom have different ways of thinking, and we always kind of like clash a little bit, and we are best sometimes apart. So in the sense of we are apart, but we can talk, we can, every day we can talk, but the moment that we are together is just a little hectic. So it was tight for us, and we were not feeling ourselves, but it was an economic need that we had to be together. And yep, that was the main issue. On top of that, I had relationship issues that I was dealing with. It was messy. So yeah, relationship about romantic relationship. So yeah, we had. When I'm trying to remember, it was a really painful moment for me. We didn't have any furniture. We didn't have food. We only had around $5,000 to get everything that we needed for two people, basically. 2,000 that I have saved, and 2,000, I think 2,000 or 3,000 that I asked for the bank. And in total, we only have $5,000 to get everything that we needed. But imagine that all we had was our clothing, and that's it. We didn't have nothing else. Maybe like a few pieces of decor and things like that, but nothing really. We didn't have no furniture, nothing. We didn't have nothing. It was the most deploring time of my life, where I felt like my value was close to 0.0 to the left. it was horrible for me. But basically, with this $5,000, I try to stretch it as mostly as possible. Basically, I went to OfferUp, I went to Facebook Marketplace, and I looked for used stuff to buy as far as furniture. And I got us 2-bedroom sets. I did everything by myself because my mom couldn't speak the language. It was very difficult for her. So I was doing everything. I carry all by my back, and I carry all the furniture in my back as well. We only had maybe like one person that helped us out to carry maybe like the furniture and things like that, but us women, we did it by ourselves, me and my mom. And I did all the arrangements, pick up the stuff, driving there. It was so tiring. But yeah, we managed to get all the furniture. It was used, obviously, because at that point we had to stretch the money as much as possible. Plus, we have to save up for the rent that we were gonna get. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home. It wasn't even an actual apartment because we couldn't afford. We had a budget, we couldn't afford certain amounts. We only had a certain amount, so we had to stick to that. And we didn't have no jobs. So imagine, no jobs, no nothing. um it was like, by the time I gathered all the things that we needed, like furniture, food, basically installing the light bill, paying our phones, I had to pay for everything. Literally, it was me. My mom didn't have nothing to her name at that point. And by the time I stretched out all the money that we had, I was left with maybe $50 out of the 5,000. So, and we did all of that within maybe 2 weeks. So we found the apartment, we furnished the apartment, we set up the electric, we bought the food, we did a couple other things, or maybe like less than a week. It was maybe a week actually. We did all that within a week. And I had at this point to get a job ASAP. And it was during COVID. I didn't have no help from the government at all. I know that a lot of people got so much help from the government. They even bought themselves cars and they got businesses out of that. I didn't get a single penny from COVID. So yeah. Basically, I had to find a job ASAP because we only paid that month. So by the next month, if I didn't have a job, we were gonna be on the street again. You know what I mean? So I have so much pressure over me. It was the most stressful period in my whole freaking life. Like, I don't even want to remember that period in my life, but I think this is gonna help a lot of people. That's why I'm revealing this to you. So yeah, keep in mind, I don't know how we ended in this situation, but I'm an immigrant, so yes. And by my accent, you already know. But we've been here for around 17 years, and I don't know how we ended up in this situation where we end up with nothing. We had to start over, literally. So it was just a huge shock to everything. At this point, I started gaining weight. At this point, I was breaking out. My face was full of pimples. I was in my worst self, honestly. And I was just trying to pray God to give me strength to keep living, to keep going, because it was so much pressure on me. And yes, my mom tried to find jobs and things like that, but it wasn't like me because she didn't speak the language as me. Is an older woman, like is different, and I didn't want to put that pressure on herself. I want to put it on me because I'm the younger, I'm the daughter. I don't want to stress her more than she has been in her whole life. So I put that pressure on me. And it was really, really, really hard. Really, really hard. Thankfully, I found a job, but I submitted within a month. I think it was before the month hit that I found this job, or a little bit, maybe like a week before the month hit. I don't even know. I think I was doing Uber, maybe by the time that I was getting the job, I was doing Uber Eats or something like that, just to fill in the money while I was trying to get an actual job. So, but the Uber Eats was so bad. Like at that moment in COVID 2020, and it was around May, it was really, really, really bad. Really, really bad. Like if I was making $60 a day for 8 hours, was a lot. So it was horrible, horrible, horrible. And in those situations, that's what I mean when you're not thriving, you're surviving. You feel like you're not valuable. Like you feel like nothing, like you are nothing, literally. So I don't ever want you to feel like this ever in your life. I don't wish this to anyone, because especially if you're a woman, us women, we need to be in a stability state where we feel like all our bills are paid, we have food on the table, we have our houses in good condition in order for us to function, right? When we have this kind of stress in our lives, we are close to losing our minds, basically. Our mental health is in its worst condition ever, and we can literally get sick out of this. So I just had God next to me. I knew that He was next to me. Even though I was going through a really tough time in my life, I knew that He was next to me, because the amount of things that could have happened to me at that moment and didn't happen to me, like many, many things. I think I was even doing Uber, the regular Uber, sometimes even late at night. Maybe like at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I was doing Uber literally to get money to survive. And the amount of things that God saved me, that now I think to myself, oh my goodness, I was in such dangerous situations, because you're so vulnerable as a woman. And I was just not realizing that, I was just kind of like blinded by my situation. I was blinded to the necessity that I had so bad that I didn't even see the danger of so many things that I had in front of me at that point. So I was blinded completely. I was just wanting to get out of my situation, whatever, however. I mean, not however, because I didn't do extreme things like, let's say, I don't know, sell my body or anything like that. Not at all. But in the sense of putting myself in a dangerous situation, like doing Uber, really late at night, things like that. It was bad. And if you're a woman right now and you're going through something like this, and you feel like you have to support and maybe a family member, maybe a daughter, maybe you have somebody that needs you, or you do it for yourself, remember that if you are not alive, this person can no longer rely on anybody. If you are not okay, this person is probably gonna be even worse than it is right now. So sometimes we have to prioritize ourselves and our safety or well-being than anything else. Sometimes you have to let the house on fire if you are not okay. Because if you are not okay, then anyway, the house will be on fire. So either way, you're not gonna win. Might as well you take care of yourself first. And that was the thing that I was not doing at all. So basically, I was doing all these things. Maybe like in 2 weeks, I found a job after applying to thousands of jobs on Indeed. Um, I found a job. It was very basic, but it was an administrative job, you know. So I was happy because it was something. It was so far away. It was like 50 minutes away from me. My car was breaking down. Literally, it was a oh, not a no, but it was like 2008 Honda Fit. Very, very little. I remember that car because it took me so many places. When I sold it, it was like running like it was brand new. Um, but yeah, it was already beat up, the pork thing. But yeah, I was taking my car all the way 15 minutes away just to get that job, just to pay the bills, pay the rent, you know what I mean? And basically, that's what happened. I stayed there for 8 months in that job. I think it was maybe no, like nine months. And basically, because I'm trying to remember, well, after that, I stayed for 9 months. Maybe in January, I moved. Because what happened was, well, a lot of things happened after that. After the maybe like the 6 months of me working there, my mom decided to go back to Miami, and I we finished the lease on that apartment that we had together, and I got myself an apartment close to my job, which was around 50 minutes away. So I got myself an apartment maybe like 5 minutes away from the job. So I was very, very close, the commute. But then I finished the job because of a certain situation that I will tell you later. But I finished the job and I moved to another city. And basically, all of these things teach me that I was draining myself so much because I needed to learn a lesson to love myself so much to never be in this situation ever again. So the lesson was to love yourself so, 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 so much that you're gonna take any precaution and you're gonna take any prevention and you're gonna be so proactive for these things not to ever happen to you again. And I'm not talking about having enough savings. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I am talking about having enough savings. But not only that, it's about loving yourself so much that you're never gonna put your life in risk just because of a dark moment in your life. Because your life is the most important thing. That's what you're fighting for, right? You're fighting to survive, to get the roof of your head, to keep the roof of your head, right? You're fighting to get food in the table. But at the same time, you're putting yourself in risky situations where you can lose your life. Because so many things could have happened to me doing Uber late at night. So the whole purpose of surviving, I was basically doing the opposite. I was putting myself in danger. I wasn't surviving. But all of this to tell you, life will throw deep holes, deep holes where you're gonna fall. Where you're gonna fall. And if you were prepared for those holes because you saw them coming, you would have got all the necessities already laid down before that hole came in. Because the holes will come in. It's not about if they're gonna come in, it's about they will come in. Now, are you prepared to receive those holes accordingly? In the sense of you being proactive, knowing that the hole is gonna come, but you know what? I'm gonna put my rock and I'm gonna put my rope and I'm gonna steer it up and I'm gonna, do kind of like the climber's mountain thing, and I'm gonna be prepared and I'm gonna put myself with the rope, and if I fall, I have something getting me out and I'm gonna climb it. It's okay, you're gonna have to climb, but it's different because you have the resources to confront this situation. So also, I learned something else. I don't know about you, but I come from a single mom family. I don't have nothing else or nobody else to come pick me out of that hole. So I have to be so knowledgeable, so proactive, so intelligent, and so smart to get me out of the hole every single time. It's kind of like I have to train myself to get in the hole and getting out of the hole 100 times. And when I expect the hole, I'm like, I'm out. I already bounced back. Look, I'm here. Because when you have this situation where you don't have nothing else to rely on, or you don't have like a father to rely on or a mom to rely on where she can support you maybe like financially in dark times, you have to be your rock. And obviously God, but the one that does the actions is you. You have to do the actions. So this is what teach me. Practice being on the bottom. And I don't mean practice purposely being on the bottom, but simulate things like you are in the bottom. So when the bottom comes, you're like, I'm already out. I don't know what bottom is. Because you're already out. You got in, but you already climbed and you're out. So the bad situations are gonna come, but you already know how to confront them. You already know how to get out of the hole in 1 minute. So, and it's not about always expecting but the bad. It's not always expecting, the bad things to happen. It's being prepared for them. And I don't even have an emergency fund. I don't even like the fact of that sound. Because I do believe in manifestations. I do believe in what you attract. And you know what I have? I have savings. I don't have emergency fund. Because that's calling in the problems. That's calling in the holes. But I have my savings. And I call my savings for anything that is necessary at that point. Okay? But don't call it emergency fund. because the emergencies are going to start appearing and the holes are going to start appearing. Call it savings. Okay? And then if you want to have your savings, call it fortune. You're building your fortune. Okay? But the point of this video is, don't get surprised by adversity. Welcome the adversity and show the adversity who you are. Tell adversity, okay, I'm already out. I don't know who you are. I'm already out. I'm already out of the hole. Because you're prepared. You have the tools and you have everything that you need to get out of the hole. And that's the message that I want to give you. Even if you're going through a tough time right now where you're surviving, I forgot to tell you also that while I was working in this job that I got during COVID, I had 2 jobs, and I forgot this part. I had 2 jobs. I was serving on the weekends, and I was doing the administrative work during Monday through Friday. So I had 2 jobs. I was nonstop. That's why I was telling you, I was drained. Before I was doing the Uber, I was doing the Uber, then I found the job, and then I'm like, you know what? I need extra money. So I got the other job. I had 2 jobs. I was like a crazy human being, to be honest with you. I was in my masculine energy. It was horrible. It was horrible. And I promised myself this. I will never be in this situation again. Not purposely. Not because I didn't do what I had to do proactively, to save, to expect it, to know how to be resourceful enough. I didn't want to ever be in that situation again. So, the whole message is, if you're going through a tough time right now, there is going to be a period where you're going to be like hell. Like you're living in a hell. Believe me. And it's probably going to be 3-6 months of hell. And you're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel bad. You're going to feel like you're losing your mind. Your skin is going to break out. You're going to gain weight. Or you're going to maybe lose a lot of weight. Who knows what the hormones are going to do. You're going to be in your masculine. You're not going to be yourself. But let me tell you, it's temporary. Everything in life is temporary. You are in a storm right now, but this is going to pass. Okay? You're going to feel better. You're going to learn your lesson. And you know what? You're going to be stronger. And like I said, when that hole comes in, you're going to be like, what hole? I'm already out of the hole. You know what I mean? So every situation in your life is a lesson for you to learn something. When you are going through something, people call it karma, and it could be a karma, to be honest with you. A karma of something that you haven't learned. It could be that you have to be more proactively saving. It could be that you have to be more resourceful. It could be that you have to be less negligent. Stop letting things pass you by and take action on your personal things. You know what I mean? It could be that you have to be more responsible. If you know that there's a deadline, you need to go before the deadline and do the arrangements of whatever thing that you need to do. Things in life that happen are lessons. Are lessons for us to be a different human being. Okay? So don't think that this situation is forever. It's not gonna be forever. It's a bad moment, it's a bad situation, and it's gonna pass by. Okay? Learn the lessons, reflect on it, and move on. Because God is with you. Believe me, when I tell you all the moments that I was driving at 8 to 9 p.m., all I think about was God protecting me, because so many things could have happened. But God will protect you. He will not let you die. Believe me, you're not gonna die. Okay? Unless you're meant to. But if it's not meant to happen, you're not gonna die. Okay? Don't worry. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna learn your lesson, and you're gonna become a better you. After all of these things that happened, I did feel like my life leveled up a little bit. I'm not saying, like I said, like I'm in the level that I want to be or end up or feel comfortable in, but I'm in a different level, definitely. I'm in a different level from the past, especially mentally, especially mentally. So all this to say, you're gonna conquer whatever you have right now. Okay? Don't compare yourself with people that might look like they are living their best lives. Nobody's lives are perfect, let me tell you. Even when they look like that, nobody's perfect. So don't ever feel bad that somebody looks better or their lives looks better, or you are running your race. You are have your own journey in life. The lessons that you're gonna learn are unique to you. Nobody else are gonna learn your lessons. So keep running your race. Be focused on your goals, and that's all you can do. Sometimes you are gonna have to take that second job, third job. Sometimes you have to. But like I said, it's temporary. It's temporary. Okay? If you have to do it, do it. Just to get yourself out of a certain situation. But then remember, prioritize yourself, your well-being. If you think that you can get maybe like a second job to get out of a certain situation, do it temporarily until you get out of the situation, and then prioritize your well-being again. Okay? Because that's the most important thing, your well-being. Okay? Everything is gonna be okay. I just want to tell you, thank you for listening. I hope you learned something out of this. It was a random video. I just wanted to tell you guys that God is with you everywhere, and that always pour into your cup first, because the house will fall anyway. The house will burn down anyway, with or without you. Because if you're not taken care of, the house is burned down anyway. So if you're the source of the house being good, then you have to be good. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you like this video, and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if it's your first time. I really appreciate you guys passing by, and just say hello in the comments. Say maybe an experience for you of a tough time that you conquer with yourself, with God, a lesson that you learn, something maybe that we can share. Maybe I can even learn something from you. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much.